It's Konosuba time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're going to have a look at the pop-up parade. Konosuba Darkness in the winter version. The masochistic crusader returns. Well, returns to pop-up parade. This is the first one I'm going to review. I also have the regular version. That review is going to come up later, but I wanted to have a look at this one first because I kind of like the winter uniform a little bit better. I don't know. Also, her facial expression, well, it's pretty good on both, but let's stick with one figure at a time and have a look at this one. You like Konosuba? You like pop-up parade? Well, I'm sure to review more of that in the future, so what you need to do is subscribe so you don't miss anything. Also, liking really much helps and is appreciated. This figure stands at about, with the base, we're going to have a look at 20 centimeters to the top of the head, and if you're going to the top of the ponytail, it would be 21. And that means it's about 8 inches, 8.2 if you're going up to the ponytail. And if you want to take the base away, well, you can't really, but that's like half an inch, or even a little bit less than half an inch, and makes it 1.5 centimeters. Size comparisons. Here's Jolter, Pop-Up Parade Aqua in the winter uniform, SH Figure Art Son Goku, Figma Darkness, Metal Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Darkseid. This figure is pretty hot. I love this facial expression. It's so Darkness. It's perfect. Absolutely love it. Also, the amount of detail, the work that went into it is quite good. You have the blue eyes and the blushing. The eyebrows are also very cleanly painted. I have a little bit of a darker tone, and the mouth is open. The detail in there is molded and also painted well. Then you have the two X's on the side of her hair, and also the hair has a lot of strains going on. A little bit of a braid on top and the strains down here, which are soft-ish, but not too much. The whole figure seems pretty sturdy, but that's a good thing. I'll get to like the lack of movability though, but yeah, I love also how the ponytail swings nice and dynamic, goes into 2 parts and has some more detail in it. There's not really any shading from what I can tell. I kind of thought it gets a little bit darker at the tips, but that's maybe more under the camera. If I look over the camera, I can't really see it as much. Then you have the boobies, which are kind of squeezed a little bit, which is nice. I like it. Now, one thing is the sword is attached pretty heavily to it. You cannot move it around, it's not floaty, and you can also not remove it. I'm not bothered by that because I think the sword is a big part of the character, so that's fine. And you have some nice gold in there. It's not quite gold metallic, but it is shiny enough, and the handle is like in a straight orange. Moving down to her arms, which you have a little bit more of detail in there, and also the gold in there. It's nicely painted. The paint on this one is good for the most part. There are some smudges on here and a little bit on the boob, which doesn't seem super ultra clean, but I'm saying it like that because for the most part it is good, and it's small issues that you're probably not gonna notice as much unless you're going in there, which I do because it's a review. But don't take it too seriously, you know. When I talk about these paint issues, I feel like I should let you know, but you're not obviously gonna have the figure always sticking to your face. Then we have some fur around the collar, which is nice and flowy. What I mean by that is going in like a bunch of different directions, and there's a couple of strains going down on it. It's also a little bit chopped down there, but it's a lot going on. It's also in the front part of her wrists, and the hands have some gloves on there. I don't know, I can't get over this face. I love this face. This face is so good. We're going down to the goods also. She has a very, very, very tiny skirt, and it's also pretty tight around her goods. Speaking of the goods, you know what it is. It's pantsu time, and there's actually some detail on there, which is appreciated. Obviously, you don't really see pantsu because she's wearing a pantyhose, but yeah, it's quite well made under there, isn't it, right? So, I mean, that's the really important detail. If you're being a fan of this channel, we do have a look at these details. I don't shy away from that. I don't really care. I love it. It needs to be there because otherwise it's no good. You got some legs which are wrapped in the pantyhose and the furry boots with the belt buckles and the gold around there. Also love the positioning of the feet, as like with Aqua. You have 2 pegs on this side and just 1 peg on this side, where she kind of lifts up the leg a little bit, which you don't really see it as much. But yeah, for the record, the pegs are under the feet. So if you want to display a web to base, can't do it unless you take these off, cut these off. You can, but I don't recommend it. I'm not a fan of busting the stuff. So also here's the base. This is how it looks like, and how it does take up some space, but I've seen worse. But still, like, actually let me have a look at the base, because sometimes I honestly have that problem also. 9.5 centimeters. I have that problem also sometimes that the base is too big and it takes up too much space, and you know, I wanted to put the figure on that spot, but then I can't because of the base. And yeah, 3 and 6 inches in size overall. So you got your base size, so you know that. Let's move on to the final thoughts. Final thoughts! I love this figure. I don't have a bad thing to say about this one. I got very, very lucky on the paint this time, I feel like, because, you know, paint issues, they come and go. It's a quality control thing. Not every copy will look bad, and actually, fortunately, I got a good copy this time around. The rest of the figure, it's fairly simplistic in the design, but the detail that is there is done nice. And the paint that is there is done well enough, but for me, the thing I can't really get over is how great it really represents darkness. I love the pose, and the face sculpt is making me melt. It's awesome, perfect, amazing, 10 out of 10. Represents the character very well, and that's one of the most important aspects, obviously, of having a figure of a character. So, I do recommend this one. It is a pop-up parade. It's not as expensive as some of the other figures, and I feel the quality of it is pretty good on this one. So that's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever darkness wants. I love this face.